Welcome, pool guys and gals, to the Let's Talk About Pools podcast, where your host, Lauren Broom, will take a splash into many topics in the pool industry to educate all aquatic professionals. Listen in, and you just might be surprised what you'll learn. So let's jump right in.
Welcome, everybody, today to the Let's Talk About Pools podcast. And on today's Season 2, Episode 30, I had the honor of speaking with Fred Schweer, Vice President of Sales for PoolRx. So we're going to talk about their product and how it can help the pool industry. So listen in. I also want to throw out there that if you're going to the Everything Under the Sun Pool Show in Orlando, Florida, go visit and talk to Fred at booth 927. And if you really want to do more, come over and visit me, Lauren Broom, the host of the Let's Talk About Pools podcast on Friday, March 4th from 2 to 4 p.m., where the podcast will be live. And you can kind of come in and plug yourself and just kind of chat with me for a little bit and be part of that great ambiance of the pool show. So I would love to see you at the Skimmer booth 1221, where the Let's Talk About Pools podcast will be live. And I look forward to meeting all of you at the Everything Under the Sun Pool Show. And enjoy the sunshine down here in Florida. I hope you guys all have a great day and enjoy this lovely podcast episode today that is sponsored by Skimmer and Base Creek. Thank you for continuing to support our podcast today. Have a wonderful day and let's jump right in.
This is Skimmer, software for the modern pool professional. What can you do with Skimmer? See all your customers on a map, build service routes quickly, and let Skimmer optimize them for you. Access customer information, including contact details and full service history, anytime and anywhere. Customize work orders to track jobs like repairs and filter cleanings. Email your customers when you complete a service. You can include service details and on-site photos. Does your customer need a part? Add it to the shopping list and track it from purchase to installation. Skimmer will even remind you what parts you need for the day, and you can mark them as installed right when you're finished. Skimmer doesn't just store your service history, it helps you get paid. We integrate with QuickBooks Online for fast, easy invoicing. And we've got more billing options coming soon. All that's just the beginning. Go to getskimmer.com to watch our demo video, check out our online tutorials, and see if Skimmer is right for you.
Welcome, everybody, today to the Let's Talk About Pools podcast. And on my episode today, I have Fred Schweer. He's the Vice President of Sales for PoolRx. Welcome, Fred. How are you?
Thanks, Lauren. Thanks for having me. I appreciate being on.
Yeah, so excited to have you on. Love to highlight different products in the pool industry. Don't really get into, what people feel about things. So my podcast is just to put out there for everybody and they're going to make their own decisions, So you're going to give us great information about you and PoolRx. So tell me a little bit about you. So we have personability here.
Yeah, I've been with the company going on 12 years. PoolRx has been in business since 1994, and I head up the sales for the organization. We have 6 rep companies throughout the nation, about 23 different sales reps throughout the United States, and I oversee those guys and also handle all of the other anything sales, marketing related. So that's kind of my role with the company. And again, it's been a fantastic 12 years. We've been growing exponentially every year since I've been on board. And so we have a really unique kind of game-changing product that people are still learning about. And I'm always excited to get onto these podcasts and talk about pools and our products to help people out that don't understand or don't know yet about PoolRx.
Yeah, that's what my podcast is for. It's that education piece, that free education piece for the listeners choose to listen to if they want to and learn something new. Sometimes we're not always able to make it to a pool show or anything like that. So this is a great way, a great medium to get info about companies like you out there that they may not know about. So it's great to have you on today. So let's get right into it. Let's dive right in, right?
Okay.
So how does the PoolRx mineral technology work?
Yeah, so PoolRx is an EPA registered, NSF 50 certified algaecide. And it's not just a typical algaecide, it's very unique. And I'm kind of showing this. I know we have a video chat going for you folks that are on the podcast. You can take a picture, take a look.
Pull a little bit forward and then it won't be blurred out.
There you go. Yeah. So that's kind of what it looks like. Anyway, PoolRx is a EPA registered algaecide, NSF 50 certified, like I mentioned. And what it is it's a unit that we have different sizes. And there's a blue unit that handles 7,500 to 20,000 gallons, and a black unit that handles 20 to 30,000 gallons. And if we have pools that are larger than 30,000, we have additional booster minerals that we can add to the pool as well. And the way this thing works is you clean your filter first, you drop this into the skimmer or pump basket. The minerals dissolve out of this unit in the first 3 to 4 hours, and they form a stable residual throughout the entire body of water. And what the minerals are doing is killing and preventing all types of algae. And by doing that, it's freeing up chlorine to be more available. So you're able to use less. And then as the water with the mineral in it passes back over this alloy cylinder, there's a reaction with the minerals in the water and this alloy that prolong the life of the minerals to allow them to last for up to 6 months. So really you're going to be algae free using less chlorine, and it's going to last for up to 6 months. So it's definitely a game-changing product for the pool market because of the less is more approach. We're just not having to add all these other specialty chemicals to the pool. And that's a big benefit to people that are using PoolRx. And you're also able to use a lot less chlorine in the pool because the minerals are doing the hard work of killing and preventing the algae. So that's kind of it in a nutshell.
That sounds kind of interesting too, just for, the current economic state we're in, where chlorine has been at times hard to get, or prices are up. So they're watching cost on how much of it they're using and that kind of thing. So if you got something that helps, it sounds like this does that.
Yeah. The value proposition of PoolRx has increased exponentially just because of the cost of the other products. I mean, the cost of chlorine is it's ridiculous. It's through the roof. And just with our product alone, it's really PoolRx balanced pool chemistry in normal ranges, and at least 0.5 to 1 part per million of free chlorine. And we need that minimum amount of chlorine for this to work as advertised. But when we have that, you're going to be, again, like I said, all types of algae, even the microalgae you can't see. And that's one thing that people don't realize, is that even in clear water, there's still microalgae that grows in that water. And it's that algae that is actually consuming your chlorine first and fastest and the most consumption. So when we're putting PoolRx in the water, now there's not even any of the microalgae in the water. And so now your chlorine is much more active and available. And so you're able to physically use less chlorine and reach whatever target part per million you want to keep. You don't have to keep it at 0.5 to 1 part per million for ours to work as advertised, but that's the minimum that we want to have a residual of. You can keep it at a higher part per million and it has no effect on our product, and it will physically take you less to reach that. So definitely a benefit in this marketplace with high chlorine prices, limited supply, and also the cost of other chemicals on the marketplace that you just don't simply need to use with our product.
That's all important to our listeners right now. So that's great information for them to know. And that's why we have you on the podcast.
Yeah.
So how does it help the chlorine disinfectant in the water? You kind of touched on that a little bit.
Yeah, right. So again, what our minerals are doing, we're using, the one I'm showing you here is PoolRx Plus. It has the blue and white container and the black and white, and that's our newest formulation. We're using copper, silver, and zinc, all 3 EPA registered active ingredients. And that mineral formulation is a new and improved formula for PoolRx. You'll see these in the marketplace this year. And what this formulation it does is it eliminates and prevents all types of algae. And so that is really the key to our product. The other part of this thing that people have to understand, that people are nervous about copper and trace metals, our minerals are uniquely chelated. And the chelation process protects the mineral at a molecular level. So they're very safe to use. They're bonded at a molecular level. So the minerals, once they dissolve into solution, they're not going to fall out of solution from over-oxidation or any kind of pH fluctuations. So again, once you use it as directed, you put the right amount in based on the gallons, the minerals dissolve into solution. And once they're in solution, they're going to stay in solution. And they are going to, like I said, eliminate and prevent the algae. And then they're going to, over time, get used up and filtered out. So we never get to a saturation point. People have been using PoolRx since 1994 every year. And what happens is the minerals get used up and filtered out. And so when you're cleaning your filters, you're either cleaning your cartridge or your DE grids or you're backwashing your sand, you're losing the mineral from those aspects. And so it's never getting to that saturation point in the water. And that's another, big benefit to our product. We're using the right amount of minerals at the right time, and they get used up over time. So they never get to that point where you're saturated and they don't have room to dissolve. But again, that's a huge benefit for people that are using this because it's easy to use, right? We have pre-sized units. And if you need additional minerals, you can add the boosters if necessary. And then over time, the minerals get used up. And then if you need to, the minerals get used up from algae kill, backwashing, splash out, filter cleanings. So the more those factors happen, the shorter the lifespan. And if you ever need to, you can always add additional booster minerals to the pool to raise that mineral content in the water.
Nice to have that option.
Yeah, it is. So we can support any size body of water, right? We have, I even have spa units here. We have little spa units that handle 100 to 400 gallons, 400 to 1,000 gallons. And then, of course, the blue unit is 7,500 gallons to 20,000, and the black being 20 to 30. And a quick note on the booster. This is the PoolRx booster. It is just a granular tablet. It's a granular booster tablet, and all you do is open up this jar, and you would just pour this into the skimmer or pump basket when you need to, either based on larger body of water that you need to dose the pool according to gallons, or if your pool is in that 7,500, 20,000 range, and the minerals get used up over time, and you're noticing your chlorine demand going up again. That's the first sign that you know that your minerals have been used up. The second sign would be, you have balanced water chemistry and you have a little chlorine in the water, but the water is kind of dull or cloudy looking. That's kind of the second sign that your minerals are probably getting used up. And that microalgae is getting bigger and bigger. And then the third noticeable sign is if you have any hint of algae, a little mustard spot or a little tinge of green, at that point, the minerals have been used up and filtered out, and it's time to add more mineral to the water. And that's, again, where the booster comes into play. Lauren, you're in Florida, and you guys are year round. So people are going to be in Florida, at least they're going to be using a PoolRx unit in the beginning of the season. And then later in the season, at some point, they're going to probably have to add a booster. Other parts of the country that are listening to this, depending on when you put PoolRx in, will depend on if and when you need a booster. So it'll be it'll vary based on where you are, the conditions of your pool, how hard these minerals have to work for you.
Yep. Regionally, it's different.
Yeah, correct.
Yep. Just like a lot of things are, what type of chemicals people use. I have found that. So it's no different for PoolRx.
Yep.
All right. This is the big question here. How does it help sustainability in the pool water?
Sustainability. What a buzzword. That is that's a word that you typically don't hear of in the pool market. When I think of sustainability, I think of, renewable resources, that are natural, renewable, and that they can sustain over a long period of time. When we're talking about sustainability, it's typically, in food production and crops, or in, sunlight or wind power, or fish hatcheries. That's how I think of sustainability, natural renewable resources that can be sustained over a long period of time. However, when it comes to the pool market and pool products, I'm not sure if there's anything that's truly sustainable as far as how things are produced. I mean, we're using these natural minerals that are mined, right? And we have a formulation, and we have a unique chelation process. So those are natural, right? But at the same time, we're mining that. And so there's a limit there. So I don't want to get in the weeds with people about the word sustainability, like you're claiming something that it's not. I'm not. I'm telling you what it is, and I'm being upfront with you. So regarding our product, it is not, we're using copper, silver, and zinc, which are naturally, forming, minerals. We're also using an alloy, a unique alloy, and also a recyclable alloy, and also recyclable plastic shell. So, for the most part, we're pretty very recyclable, and the natural minerals are very abundant in nature. So those are good things.
Environmentally,
yes, those are good things. And also, again, we are EPA registered, which means that this has been tested, not only for safety for people and pets, but also for the environment. So, we have all the things working for us with this product. And then also, again, the NSF 50 certification is another third-party company that tests for, making sure your claims are kind of accurate and efficacy, and making sure that the safety guidelines are there. So now back to your question, sustainability in the pools. How I look at PoolRx with sustainability is, like I mentioned earlier, what we're doing is we're preventing the algae in the pool from growing. And so you're able to use less chlorine, number one. So if you're putting less chlorine in the pool, your water is going to last longer. If you are not having to use other specialty chemicals with PoolRx, like phosphate removers and clarifiers and other algaecides and excessive shock, you're now putting less chemicals in that water, so you're going to prolong the life of that water. That's a benefit to the pool. It's a benefit to the people swimming in the pool. It's a benefit to the water. And so that's my definition as far as how I think PoolRx benefits pool owners and pool service providers around the world. So
do you feel that, like, using PoolRx versus all those other specialty chemicals you'd have to use in addition to the chlorine, that you're keeping the total dissolved solid levels down in the pool, which doesn't age the water, I guess is what people kind of call it. So in some ways, environmentally, it would possibly prevent as many water drains of a pool, especially in areas where there's water conservation issues and that kind of thing. So that could be another environmental, or if you thought about sustainability in that regards, that I was thinking as you were talking as well.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Lauren. That's exactly right. Especially folks also that are using, tablet chlorine, that's, very high in cyanuric acid or dichlor, trying to reduce how much of those types of chlorines are in the water is going to also prolong that water life. Cyanuric acid being one of the biggest problems in our market, and as far as keeping water clean and safe. But anyway, that's definitely a benefit when it comes to our products. It's just a less is more approach, right? And the other benefit is it's gonna sustain your bank account a little longer. You're not going to
think about sustainability that way.
That's right.
Hey, that's important to business owners.
Yes.
Which is how they pay their bills and even put food on the table for their families. So that's an important sustainability issue as well.
Yes, agreed.
I want to say thank you to my other podcast sponsor here, Vito Mariano and Basecrete. If you want to know anything about concrete or waterproofing of concrete, this is the company to go to. And I want to say thank you for your continued support of the Let's Talk About Pools podcast, where education continues to those that are listening. Enjoy, guys, the rest of the podcast.
So how does it help eliminate algae?
Yeah, and I kind of hit on it, but it's what's nice about this product is like I said, we've pre-sized it. The minerals, when you have normal pool chemistry, normal ranges, and there's a wide range for air on our product, by the way, when it comes to that. And you have at least 0.5 to 1 part per million of free chlorine, our minerals are going to prevent all types of algae from growing in the water. And again, the minerals are in solution throughout the entire body of water, and they get reionized or recharged, rejuvenated as they pass back over the alloy. So it's a combination of the minerals in the water that are doing the active killing and preventing of algae, freeing up the chlorine, and it's the long life of them is also because of the reaction with the minerals and the alloy. The unit itself, so there's the alloy inside this unit is effective in rejuvenating the minerals for up to a year in the water. After a year, it gets kind of scaled and corroded, and it loses the connectivity with the minerals in the water. So every year we say start with a new PoolRx unit, and then if necessary, you can add a booster, in that 4 or 5, 6 month time frame if you need it. And then the next year, start with a new unit. Some people think, oh, I can just buy the booster, and I'll just use that. And those minerals will dissolve into the water and it'll do the same thing. What you're going to find is the booster minerals are only going to last about 4 or 5 weeks. When they're not reacting with that alloy, that's that specially treated alloy that you leave in the skimmer or pump basket, the minerals are only going to last about 4 or 5 weeks. So it's not cost effective for you to just go with buying boosters every month or so. It's a lot more cost effective to start with a new PoolRx unit at the beginning of every season and add the booster if and when needed. But that's kind of the ease of use and the benefit and the longevity of the product. And so it's an exciting thing right now because people are in desperate need of other sources and other things to protect them. So
yeah, other avenues. So
yeah.
That was going to be my next question is how long does it work? And you kind of answered that just now. So,
yeah.
So we'll get into this one, which we kind of hit on.
You know what, Lauren, one more thing on the longevity of this, just so you get your mind around it. PoolRx is also great for, if you open up a green pool, you don't have to have a clear pool to use PoolRx to keep it clear and keep your algae, away and your chlorine down. You can start, if you have a green pool and you got to clean it up, you open up to a green pool, you can use PoolRx to do that. And we are,
that's interesting.
So we can get you cleared up. And again, there's a little bit of a direction tweak on how to do that with a PoolRx unit. And we have that on our website at PoolRx.com. But it's very simple. Typically within 3-4 days, we're completely on a complete green swamp. We're going to get you cleared up. And you're able to do that using less chlorine to get there. Now, when you clear up a green pool with PoolRx, some of that mineral, like I said earlier, gets used up killing algae, right? And so you're not going to get 6 months out of a pool that you cleared up a green pool with, right? Because that mineral does get used up and filtered out. And so in that situation, you're going to have to add a booster sooner than that typical 4 to 6 month time frame. So just something to note. You don't have to start, in a great pool situation with PoolRx. You can start with your toughest pools, and you'll become a believer there. Or you can start with the green pool cleanup, and you'll become a believer pretty quickly. But realize that you may need a booster sooner on a green pool cleanup than you would on a typical somewhat algae pool.
Makes sense. It's working harder and using most of it up, just trying to do that initial work in the beginning. So you got to add that oomph back into it a little bit with the booster there.
Correct.
All right. So this is a question the listeners will like to hear. How does it help the pool tech's job? That's a good one.
Yes, it is. So there's a lot of different ways that it helps the pool tech, and you've kind of gone over just by the logic of this product. Not only is it saving you money with how much you're putting in the pool, but it's also saving you time. You're just not going to be getting those repeat phone calls for people saying, "Hey, my pool's turning green. Come back out here." That's a big one. But the minerals are always working for you. Right. So you're only there once a week, typically, as a pool service provider. And the minerals are providing that extra layer of protection, even no matter what happens in that pool. They're having a big party. They're having, you get a rainstorm, whatever your situation is, a bunch of debris gets in there. Without PoolRx, kind of as your baseline, you're probably going to get some phone calls. Right. So the minerals are working for you at all times. And it's also, like I said, it's freeing up that chlorine to be more available. So your chlorine's lasting longer. The pool is able to be safer longer and clearer longer than it would be without it. But ultimately, to the pool service professional that are listening to this, it's a complete no-brainer when it comes to your business, because, like I said, it's PoolRx. A lower residual of chlorine is what you're going to be able to maintain. And you're not going to have to use anything else in that pool except, if you have to balance the pool with any kind of balancing chemicals. So it's really a chemical saving story. And if you're doing chemicals included on your route, this is a complete no-brainer, because you can either sell this to your customer and for the price you pay for it, or you can sell it to the customer for a profit, or you just buy it from distribution and you put it in your pool. You put it in the pools on your route, and you take that cost. But within weeks, you're going to make up that cost just with the chemicals you're not using. So it really pays for itself within the first month or so. And then you have the back end of that, where you're not having to use those chemicals that you're used to using. It's saving you money for the next 5-6 months. So it's really a chemical saving story. It's going to help every service provider on their route. And once people get it in the pools, and once you sell it, if you can sell it to your customer, even better. You pass along the cost to your customer. Now you're just saving on the back end. But once your customer even buys it, or you just put it in, the water quality is like you haven't seen before. The chlorine is so much more available that the water is just polished, and the look of that water is now something that it's like a wow moment. And your customers, your customer base will love to see the quality of the water after it's in.
And that's all important too.
Yep.
That the customer being happy in the end is that other big thing. And
absolutely, that's what everyone that's in the service business is. They're people. It's for the people, and they're trying to do right by people. And at the same time, it's not a charity, right? It's a business, and so you want to be able to be profitable and be fair and honest and with your customers and make them happy. And so happier customers, is going to get word of mouth advertising and more good customers and improve your business. So it's a definite win-win.
Yes, definitely. It's great for the listeners to hear about this and all the ways it can help them and how it works. So let's tell the listeners, where can they go to purchase these products, or how can they purchase this product if they're interested?
Yeah. So the best way to buy our products is through distribution. We don't sell direct. We are distributed by every major distributor throughout the nation. So anywhere you buy your pool products is where you can find PoolRx. The best way to buy our products, if you're a service professional, is in these 4-packs. It's just 4 units in a brown box. It's a lower cost average per unit. And then the best time to buy our product is March 1st through April 30th.
Ooh, that's coming up.
That is coming up. Yeah. So this is good timing, but you will see advertisements in all the typical pool magazines and publications. You'll also see our promotions at your distributors posted, but it's a sell-through discount. So your distributor is going to provide you a discount at the time of your purchase. And then we provide our distributors a credit back to them to make up for that cost, to make our distributors whole. But yeah, March 1st through April 30th, so you got 2 months to take advantage of those sales. And that's really the best time to do it. We also do another sale at the end of the summer. It's August and September. So if you need some boosters at the end of the summer for some of your pools, that's a good time to pick those up as well. But yeah, it's pretty easy. And then if you're a retail customer, we do have some retailers that are selling this. So you can ask around there. And if they need to, they can always order it from their distributors.
And can they order straight from the website?
Yeah, so we don't promote that. We don't really want it. We're not trying to sell direct. We'd rather you go through the proper channels. So we're set up to go from distribution. Distribution sells to retailers or to the service professionals. So I would recommend, if you're a do-it-yourselfer so I would recommend, number one, getting a service professional. It's worth its weight in gold for the folks to actually maintain your pool properly. So I would definitely ask your local service professional to get on service, and then also to get a PoolRx for you. But if you're not, then yeah, you'll be able to find PoolRx, if you just look for it. It's available.
But can they get information if they want to try to look at the product on the website?
Absolutely.
Without buying it there, they can look at
Correct.
the information about the product.
Yes, of course. So go to
the website.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, Lauren. So PoolRx.com is our website, and you're going to want to go there, and you'll have a great. It's called the frequently asked questions, the FAQs. And that's a great way to start. There's about 24, 25 frequently asked questions. So I covered a lot in this this interview, but there's a little bit more to even read about, and you'll be able to pick up on some other nuances and things to have a good experience with the product. Yeah. And so, yes, there's plenty of information at PoolRx.com. And if you are a pool service professional and you click on the Pool Professional tab, it will take you to the Pool Professional section of our website, and it'll request you to register with us. And then we will send you a password. And that password will allow you to get to some information that only the pool professionals would really have access to, including our savings calculator, which is going to help you assess your own business and what you're spending right now, and then what you would be saving by going with the PoolRx method, which is it's a great tool to use. And we also have some customizable offer letters that help you sell PoolRx to your customers. So there's 5 pre-written letters that will come up on the Word program on your computer, and you'll be able to copy paste. You'll be able to edit and save as it's coming from you. And you can either email those to your customers, or you can print those out and put them in your billing. That's just another way to introduce PoolRx to your customers, that we've helped you with a nice little customizable offer letter. So those are great tools for service pros to introduce this to everybody.
That's awesome. Dangling some great fruit there from the tree to get them to go read some more stuff about PoolRx. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, it really, we have lots of testimonials of folks that have really changed their businesses and become more profitable and a healthier, bigger business because of our product. So we're really proud of it, and we stand behind it. We're here to help with anybody that has specific questions, or if they screw something up, or they have a head scratcher. We're here to help you. We have reps around the country. I also am very involved in the education and support. So just go to our website and email us any questions you have, and we'll get back to you, pretty quickly. And so we're here to help you. We stand behind the product, and if you use it as directed, it'll work as advertised.
So are you going to be at the Everything Under the Sun pool show down here in Orlando in early March for those of you that like to go to trade shows?
Looking forward to that. Yeah, I actually do all the trade shows for our company, and we also, of course, we meet our reps out there that help support us in these different markets. But yeah, can't wait to get out there.
What's your booth number going to be at the show?
Oh man, you know what? You will find us. It'll be the PoolRx booth. I don't have that in front of me right now, but
find them at the show, guys, because this will be a published podcast episode before the pool show. And also, I have to shout out to our local reps in Florida. Stellar Sales Alliance is a new rep company for us in that marketplace, led by Fernando Barragon, and he has 3 great reps that he helps and supports for us. So Stellar Sales Alliance represents us in Florida. So any questions there, you probably see those guys around town. You can reach out there as well. But again, you guys, if you have any questions, or if you want to get local support, we will direct you there. Just come to us first, and we can get you dialed into a local rep if necessary. Awesome. Thank you so much for being on the podcast today, Fred. It was a pleasure to speak with you about this product. I learned a lot more about it than I thought I knew about it. So thank you for being on today.
Thank you for having me. And this is always a pleasure. And I really appreciate what you do for the pool marketplace, and the education that you're providing is just invaluable. So appreciate the opportunity today.
Thank you so much. You have a wonderful day.
Thanks, you too.
Thanks for diving in today with the Let's Talk About Pools podcast. Be sure to follow us on our YouTube channel or our Facebook page. And feel free to rate, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you listen to your podcasts, so more aquatic professionals like you can learn about the show. We appreciate it, and we'll catch you in the next episode of the Let's Talk About Pools podcast.